Sage Wanderer here, coming at you from Holland Lake Park in Weatherford, Texas. So got up early this morning before daybreak and took my sister to work. So I'm out and about today, and I'm making my first video in 2 or 3 weeks. And those of you who got the post on the community post that I put out, you know, I haven't made a video because I've been upset and heartbroken over the situation with my son. I don't really want to talk about it. It's I guess the heartbreak for me is not our relationship, because I know that'll heal and mend once he's getting to feeling better and he's got on some new medication. I just have hope that he's going to level out and we can, you know, this isn't a major rift between us. But the heartbreaking part for me was this was my last chance, my last best effort. I put everything into this effort to move him out here to Texas and get him to pull himself up by his bootstraps. If you're going to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, there's no better place than Texas. It is a land of opportunity, and it's a good place for a young man to start a life. However, he's not able to do that right now. He's just not mentally fit to pull it off. And I hoped he would be, you know, mentally fit enough to pull it off, and he would have been had he not had that relapse on the way back on the way back to Texas from Oregon. You know, I lost my son somewhere between Las Vegas and Tucumcari, New Mexico, and I hope that we can get him the right medication and get him evened out, and that, you know, he can get the help that he needs. But this is no place to be if you're looking for good mental health, and you know, if you're looking for government help to get you set in life. If you're disabled in any way, Texas is not a good place to be. It really isn't. And it's the place to be if you're a self-starting man of the world. It's time to, you know, you can get her done in Texas. So that's all I'm going to talk about why I've been absent. And let's just talk about now what's going on in the world. So we have an out-of-control, hypocritical Congress that's absolutely infatuated with the idea of impeaching the president. They've been trying to do it since before he was elected, and it's their only focus. And they're absolutely a do-nothing Congress. They've done nothing for the American people. They've done nothing. I don't think they've passed any laws. And furthermore, if you want the president to work with you and pass, you know, get the Senate to pass congressional bills, and if you want to get them all the way to the president's desk and him not veto him, then impeaching him is probably not the best way to get him to play ball. Let's just be real. Impeaching the president is about the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Furthermore, they haven't got anything on him. They just don't, and they're making it up. The bottom line is, AJ's right. They don't care. They aren't trying to really impeach the president. They're going to remove him extrajudiciously. I can't even say it. Extrajudiciously. Anyway, they're going to do it outside the law if they have to. They're just going to nab him and you know, and take him out. AJ's saying that, you know, an assassination attempt is inevitable. That's how bad they want him out. I do know this, that unless they've just really bought and paid for the election, unless the election is completely rigged, the American people, even Democrats, are not going to be on their side on this one. Even if they want the president impeached, they also want the Senate and the House of Representatives to present some legislation. Let's do something, people. Don't be a do-nothing legislation. You know, this Congress has done nothing but chase this president and chase their own tail and fight amongst themselves. You know, they're so focused on the past and trying to undo our wins that they can't look forward to try to create wins of their own. So they're just going to continue to lose. And it's obvious that this is a civil war brewing. You know, these people are attacking our president for things that they themselves are doing. You know, Biden absolutely abused his power as vice president of the United States to withhold funds from the Ukraine until they fired the prosecutor that was after Biden's son. This is a undisputed fact. For them to say that it's some other reason that he was, okay, it doesn't matter. You don't have the right to, okay, think about it this way. What if the Ukraine said, we're not going to sign that treaty until you fire district attorney, or until you fire a prosecutor, or until you fire Bob Barr, the Attorney General of the United States. I'm sorry. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Biden clearly abused his authority in getting that prosecutor fired. Then he bragged about it in front of the Council on Foreign Relations. I guess he didn't realize it was being videotaped, that it would come back to haunt him. And now he's saying, I didn't either. You don't understand. It was something different. It's BS, man. We know you did it. Now you're trying to accuse our president of doing it. This is what they do. They circumvent the Constitution, then they accuse us of circumventing the Constitution. They threaten us with violence and arrest and criminalization, and then they claim that we're threatening them with violence and criminalization. And the reality is, this is civil war. Trump said it was civil war. I agree. I've been saying it for 2 years. Is it a cold civil war? I don't think so, because Steve Scalise was shot. That's not a cold civil war. They shot Steve Scalise. The shooting in Las Vegas was absolutely, positively a leftist operation. I don't care what AJ says. It's not some foreign deal gone bad. This man is videotaped at anti-Trump events, and then he shoots up a country music concert that's full of Trump supporters. Okay? It doesn't take a brain surgeon to put 2 and 2 together. And if you're telling me, quit pissing on my head and telling me it's raining. Sorry, I know you don't like my language when I talk this way, but I'm just being real. Don't blow smoke up my skirt. I'm smarter than that. Don't insult my intelligence. I know what that guy was doing. He was killing Trump supporters. Furthermore, Ron, not Ron Paul. What's the other one? I forget Ron Paul's son's name. Something Paul. Another senator that was jumped in his front yard, and he had to have surgery to repair the damage that was done to him. I think he had more than one surgery. This guy beat the crap out of him and caved in his ribs and punctured his lung. And so, if you think this is a cold civil war, just talk to the guy that got his head cracked open by a bike lock. Why don't you talk to Andy No, who got his head smashed in by Antifa, and tell me this is a cold civil war? This is a hot civil war. We just haven't started using guns yet, but that's just right around the corner. And so I urge you, if you are a Constitution-loving patriot, then you should absolutely be preparing. And I mean preparing for your house to be breached. So you should be bulletproofing your walls. You should be reinforcing your doors, your windows. I'm about to put steel grates on my windows so people can't throw bottles and things through the windows. They can't throw rocks through the windows or tear gas grenades or smoke grenades through my window. And it's insane to be talking like this. But this is going to be a shooting war. They're probably going to try and take out Trump one way or the other, by hook or by crook. What will we do then as the American people? What if they just steal the election? What if they suspend the election? What if Congress just decides to try and suspend the election? It's clear to me that Congress thinks they're in charge of this country. That Nancy Pelosi thinks she's queen. They don't understand. They don't have any control over the executive branch. Congress has zero control over the executive branch. They're a completely different branch of government, and they can really do nothing. They can impeach him, but it's up to the Senate to remove him from office. And then we, the people, might decide we're not having him removed from office. We don't care what the House and the Senate says. Because I'm here to tell you right now, if the Senate agrees to take this president out of office, they're on the side of the globalists. They're all traitors. Any of those Republicans in name only, those rhinos, they're on the wrong side. And they're going to be on the wrong side of history. Because we the people, we the American people, we the 3% who are willing to do something about it, that's all it takes, is about 3% willing to do something about it. I don't think we're going to sit by and let them impeach this president. I think bad things will happen if they do that. I think really bad things. I don't think they'll be safe. I don't think Washington, D.C. will be safe. I don't think federal buildings will be safe if they impeach this president on trumped up charges and they get the Senate to go along with it. Now, I really don't think that's going to happen. I think it's more likely they try to off him. I think it's more likely they just try to arrest him, and to hell with the Constitution and the rules. Nancy Pelosi really sees herself much greater than she is. She sees herself as some kind of queen. And all I can say to you, my viewers, is that it's time to stick your head between your legs and kiss your butt goodbye. I mean, normal life as we know it is coming to an end, and we're going to enter into a period of absolute chaos. The 2020 election is going to, just like John Titor, the time traveler, predicted, the 2020 election is going to lead to a war, more than likely over guns. Because here's the thing, why did they want the president out so bad? Because they're going to take the guns. They're going to do what they did in New Zealand and just outlaw your firearms, your ARs and your AKs. You know, they sent Beto up there as a sacrificial lamb to say the thing that they're all planning. And when that happens, we're going to defend ourselves. And honestly, if they remove the president, certain elements within the Patriot movement might move against them before they get a chance to try to come for our guns. But either way, if you own a gun and you don't want to give it up, then I would say fortify your home. Make it as difficult as possible so that whatever unconstitutional traitors, SOBs, they decide to slap a badge on and send to your house to collect your firearms, make it as hard as they can to get in. I'm sorry, it's time to start digging trenches and parapets and secret rooms and hideout rooms, and it's time to, you know, don't cache your guns, use them to defend your guns. I'm serious. Am I calling for civil war? I'm saying we need to prepare for it because they're going to bring it. The other side is bringing it. They're attacking our constitutionally elected president. He has not committed any crimes or high crimes or misdemeanors. He does not deserve to be impeached. And if they impeach him, it's a completely partisan hack job. If the Senate goes along with it, they've been bought and paid for. You hear me? If the Senate agrees to impeach our president, they're on the payroll of the Chi-Coms. Let's just get it real. So I don't see how we proceed at this point without bloodshed. I don't see how we proceed at this point without fighting. And I just don't see this being a bloodless endeavor. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I don't want this. Nobody wants it. But you need to be prepared because I think it's coming. I think it's coming. That's the one thing. I've been silent for 2 or 3 weeks, and that's the one thing out of all of the potential topics that I wanted to express to you is that civil war is on like Donkey Kong. It just hadn't started shooting yet, and it's just a matter of time. It could break out at any moment. In a previous video, I talked about how political arrests are a civil war indicator. You know, this thing of you're treasonous. No, you're treasonous. One former governor of Massachusetts said Donald Trump was guilty of treason and should be executed. So they're openly calling for the execution of our president under the treason laws. You know, and here's Trump, the president of the United States, calling Adam Schiff, Congressman Adam Schiff, a treacherous and treasonous person who deserves to be imprisoned. So it's just a matter of time till somebody snatches somebody on some trumped up charges and drags them in, and then it's on, you know, because honestly, if they arrest our president, I really think the militia will break him out. And I think maybe the federal law enforcement agents, some of them might go home that day. So it's easier for them to break him out. I mean, battle lines are being drawn. Pick your side. Are you a communist or are you a patriot? If you're a patriot, it really is time for you to make sure that all of your ducks are in a row, that you have everything that you need to fight a protracted war against these people, and that you fortified your homestead, and that you have a bug out location in case you get overran, that you have a back door to escape from. Unless you're like me, I just intend to go down. I don't run. I don't run. Okay. Well, I guess that's all I got to say for right now. Once again, I apologize for being absent. Thanks to all of you who sent me letters and who have sent me finances to help me out. I'm going to go back to work. My health is back now that I've got out of Oregon. That place was killing me. I don't know why, but here I'm a lot healthier. And so I'm either going to go back to Guitar Center or I'm going to drive for Uber or something. And I'm just waiting for the homestead to get a little further down the road, because once I start working, I won't have the energy to work on my house. So I got to get my house and my homestead to the place where I can, to a stopping point where it's functional and I can work. So thank you guys that have helped me so far. I greatly appreciate it. You got me through a rough time. You know, if you want to send me some love letters and to my P.O. Box 2915, Weatherford, Texas 76086. P.O. Box 2915, Weatherford, Texas 76086. Hey, it don't have to be financial help. It can just be a friendly word. I'm pretty isolated, so it's nice to hear from people. I haven't gotten a letter in a while. But I'm really not begging for money. Don't get me wrong, because I'm about to go back to work. I understand that you guys can't support me, and as much as I'm sure many of you value what I do, I can't expect you to support me. So I'm through my rough patch. I've jumped through all the hoops, and I'm on the other side of things now, and things are looking up for me. So I'm going to go back to work so I can continue to raise the kind of money I need to make my homestead as fortified as I'd like it to be, as self-reliant as I'd like it to be. And, so plus I need to take Radar to the vet too, so he needs to get his shots and everything. But, yeah, anyway, thanks again to all my viewers for all your help, and God save our republic.